Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you all are safe in this pandemic and I hope you all are positive. If not, then you must be picking one of the habits that I have recently which will help you not only in staying positive but also like aligning your thoughts, and that is reading a book. However cliche or an old kind of a method it sounds, but it definitely works. I've already released one video about a series where I have started a series of video which is named as Read a Book with Me. Yes, so and I have already released one video for that where I have started reading the book Ikigai. Ikigai is nothing but finding the purpose of your life. And so my current read is Ikigai, and I have read out regarding like stress and the ways of coping with it. Today I want to just advance further in this book along with you guys. So without much ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's start. The next topic says find flow in everything you do. How to turn work and free time into spaces for growth. That's a new chapter that we are starting in this book. Let's read out what it says further. I feel it's going to be an interesting topic, because that is what everybody needs these days. They want to know how to turn your work and free time into spaces of growth. Let's see what we can dig out from here. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Wow. I always have the habit of keeping a marker with me, and whatever I feel has appealed to me in the book or is important for me, or the lines which I want to come back to after finishing this book. After finishing this book, I may not feel like going through all of the pages again. So you can just highlight, whenever you read a book, you can just highlight a few points which has appealed you the most and you think you can work on those. So you can do that. I'll just highlight, and I like this which says we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit, and it is by Aristotle. Going with the flow. Imagine you are skiing down one of your favorite slopes. Powdery snow flies up on both sides of you like white sand. Conditions are perfect. You are entirely focused on skiing as well as you can. You know exactly how to move at each moment. There is no future, no past. There is only the present. You feel the snow, your skis, your body, and your consciousness united as a single entity. You are completely immersed in the experience, not thinking about or distracted by anything else. Your ego dissolves and you become part of what you are doing. This is the kind of experience Bruce Lee described with his famous "Be water, my friend." We have all felt our sense of time vanish when we lose ourselves in an activity we enjoy. We start cooking and before we know it, several hours have passed. We spend an afternoon with a book and forget about the world going by until we notice the sunset and realize we haven't eaten dinner. We go surfing and don't realize how many hours we have spent in the water until the next day when our muscles ache. The opposite can also happen when we have to complete a task we don't want to do. Every minute feels like a lifetime and we can't stop looking at our watch. As the quip attributed to Einstein goes, put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. This is the theory of relativity for all the science students who know it. The funny thing is that someone else might really enjoy the same task, but we want to finish as quickly as possible. What makes us enjoy doing something so much that we forget about whatever worries we might have while we do it? When we are happiest? These questions can help us discover our Ikigai. Ikigai, purpose of your life. The power of flow. These questions are also at the heart of psychologist Mihaly research into the experience of being completely immersed in what we are doing. Highly called this state as flow. and described it as the pleasure, delight, creativity, and process when we are completely immersed in life. There is no magic recipe for finding happiness, for living according to your ikigai, but one ingredient is the ability to reach this state of flow, and through this state to have an optimal experience. In order to achieve this optimal experience, we have to focus on increasing the time we spend on activities that bring us to this state of flow, rather than allowing ourselves to get caught up in the activities that offer immediate pleasure, like eating too much, abusing drugs or alcohol, or stuffing ourselves with chocolate in front of the TV. The psychology of optimal experience flow is the state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost for the sheer sake of doing it. It is not only creative professionals who require the high doses of concentration that promote flow. Most athletes, chess players, and engineers also spend much of their time on activities that bring them to this state. So, a chess player feels the same way upon entering a state of flow as a mathematician working on a formula or a surgeon performing an operation. A professor of psychology analyzed data from people around the world and discovered that flow is the same among individuals of all ages and cultures. In New York and Okinawa, we all reach a state of flow in the same way. But what happens to our mind when we are in that state? When we flow, we are focused on a concrete task without any distractions. Our mind is in order. The opposite occurs when we try to do something while our mind is on the other things. If you often find yourself losing focus while working on something you consider important, there are several strategies you can employ to increase your chances of achieving flow. The 7 conditions for achieving the flow. According to researcher Owen, the requirements for achieving the flow are knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, knowing how well you are doing it, knowing where to go where navigation is involved, perceiving significant challenges, perceiving significant skills, being free from distractions. Now, let's read further. I hope this is all self-explanatory. So just let me go with the flow. Let me go with the flow of reading this book, and then maybe at the end I'll just summarize. Strategy 1. Choose a difficult task, but not too difficult. Schafer's model encourages us to take on tasks that we have a chance of completing, but that are slightly outside our comfort zone. Every task, sport, or job has a set of rules, and we need a set of skills to follow them. If the rules for completing a task or achieving a purpose are too basic relative to our skill set, we will likely get bored. Activities that are too easy lead to apathy. If, on the other hand, we assign ourselves a task that is too difficult, we won't have the skills to complete it and will almost certainly give up and feel frustrated to boot. The ideal is to keep a middle path, something aligned with our abilities but just a bit of a stretch, so we experience it as a challenge. This is what Ernst meant when he said, "Sometimes I write better than I can." We want to see challenges through to the end because we enjoy the feeling of pushing ourselves. Bertrand Russell experienced a similar idea when he said, to be able to concentrate for a considerable amount of time, it is essential to difficult achievement. If you are a graphic designer, learn a new software program for your new project. If you are a programmer, use a new programming language. If you are a dancer, try to incorporate into your next routine a movement that has seemed impossible for years. Add a little something extra, something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Even doing something as simple as reading means following certain rules, having certain abilities and knowledge. If we set out to read a book on quantum mechanics for specialists in physics without being specialists in physics ourselves, we'll probably give up after a few minutes. On the other hand of the spectrum, if we already know everything a book has to tell us, we will get bored right away. However, if the book is appropriate to our knowledge and abilities and builds on what we already know, we'll immerse ourselves in our reading and time will flow. This pleasure and satisfaction are evidence that we are in tune with our ikigai. So here they have made this band sort of a diagram table where they have, I don't know, it is always inversely proportional in front of the camera, I don't know why, like a mirror. So here the easy one says, if the task is very easy, straight away it will lead to boredom. If the task is beyond our abilities, which is this, then it will lead to anxiety and eventually we'll give it up. If the task is appropriately challenging, that will lead us to flow. That will lead us to flow. So just to summarize this entire paragraph or the entire page, those 2 pages, I'll just highlight this table because it summarizes the entire thing. If you want to go with the flow, I mean it continues over here, but I'm not sure how much can I accommodate in this video because obviously I don't want you guys to go out of the flow if the video is too long. So that, as the table summarized, I think that's the summary in itself, and the lines which I read, the pages which I read, I think were quite self-explanatory. First of all, it said that to find the ikigai, you have to do something which interests you genuinely, because then it will be easy for you to have that flow. So they gave that example of theory of relativity. If you do something that you like, time flies. If you do something that you do not like, time just halts and it goes at a very slow pace. So the best idea to have the flow, to engage yourself in something where you are lost in doing and you enjoy it, where you don't know how the time flies. To have that kind of flow, do something, identify something that seriously interests you. Personally, if I have to take that example on me personally, then I would say, as all of you all know, I have 2 professions. One is I'm like IT engineer, I work in an IT company, and the second is I'm a content creator. I have a YouTube channel, I have Instagram handles, and I have my D-Store business that I run. So you can just take my example itself, that when I sit to do my office work, now if I give you a picture of my day, when I sit to do my office work, those 6 to 7 or 9 hours or maybe 12 hours at times, they don't go. I mean, because I had told you that profession does not interest me much. So those 9 to 10 hours, they seem like days and days, So that's because I'm not much interested in it genuinely. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it, for earning my bread and butter. But I'm not interested. But on the other hand, when it's a Saturday, Sunday, or even on the working days, when I'm shooting on a Saturday or a Sunday, those same number of hours, if I take the same number of hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, I can go on shooting because I like it. I like to be in front of the camera. I like speaking in front of the camera. I like dressing up. I like clicking pictures. I like creating content. So when I sit for 8 hours or 7 hours or 12 hours for shooting, I really cannot say, because I'm all happy and I'm not tired as well, because I'm in that flow. Whereas, and even while on a working day, when I'm compared to those 7-8 hours which went very slow in the day, and if I'm shooting for 1 or 2 hours in the day and post my IT work, those 2 hours feels like 5 minutes. I cannot say okay, done. come on now, remove the makeup, remove everything, and again go back to the IT work. I feel so sad to take that transition. So I can completely relate to this. I don't know how many of you can relate with this, but I completely relate with it because that's my life situation currently. I can completely relate to theory of relativity. So, coming back to the topic and away from my life, it's said that do identify something which gives you a perfect flow in life so that you enjoy the activities that you do, and they just demonstrated how to choose and pick a particular activity so that you can get a perfect flow for it. So that table was a summarization of it, that if you choose something which you already know or which is very easy, you will just like shrug it off your shoulder and like, I know it. You'll already lose interest even before starting it. And if you do something very difficult, it will scare the hell out of you. You will get an anxiety and then you'll be like, no, let it be. It's too boring. I don't want to start because I know I'm not going to complete it because it's way too difficult as per my skill set and abilities. So even that you will give it up. So what remains is do something which you feel is somewhat relative to your experience, your ability, your skill set and your interest and your knowledge. Once you pick that, make sure that you challenge yourself a little bit more, a little up in the scale so that it remains equally interesting. And that's how you can get yourself into a flow of the activity. So as simple as that. And I think this is something really important. Like each one of us are like trying to figure out what should we do in life where we are interested and where we feel challenged as well at the same time. So I think these 2 pages were really interesting, quite informative, helpful, and I enjoyed reading this. Hope you guys enjoyed as well reading with me and just like hearing my views, opinions and discussions on these lines. Do let me know what are your views on these lines which I just read in front of you. And till the time I come back again, do stay safe and keep reading and keep finding your Ikigai. Bye-bye.